Donkey Kong on the Pac-Man machine. That's right, Donkey Kong. This right here on the Pac-Man. But where's the buttons? Where's your jump button? And where are the coin buttons? You need coin buttons, right? Where are they? Let's take a look here. Pac-Man build, fellas, on the Retro Pi here. Close to 40 games here. No additional buttons, no coin buttons on here. Let's take a look how we do this. You know, coin buttons are overrated. You know, whenever I see somebody add in additional coin buttons, especially when you take a look at a machine like this, Street Fighter's got what? 6 here, 6 here, 12 plus the 2, 14. 14 buttons on here, yet people still want to add more buttons. Why? Why? Just to have additional coin as it's being what? Authentic? No, it's not. You know? So we're not putting any additional coin buttons as all of my builds on here. And the reason I did this image, one guy did message me, wanted me to add in Donkey Kong to Pac-Man. And I'm like, yeah, sure I can. Sure I can add it on here. And we're going to use the same control deck as we've all been using. I added the updated attract mode image on here, as you guys could see in the centipede image that I posted earlier this week. Pac-Man's got the update here, and as always, you know, all games on here can be scrolled through the board there. You have your favorites and all. So if I switch over to my favorites on here, which I have just Pac-Man, Frogger, and Miss Pac-Man, and Pac-Man Plus. You could do your own friends favorites list on here, or you could switch back to all, which has close to like 40 games I think on here. Somehow I fit 40 games here with just this control board. Nothing else, no additional buttons, no additional joysticks on here as promised. And I'm going to show you guys how that's done on here, as well as how to change anything on here that you want to change or configure. You know, I wish this was set up with the 2 buttons side by side like the Space Invaders on here. This is a very nice one. He's got the fire button here, and the way these are next to side by side, because then you could add games like, you know, that have 2 buttons like Phoenix or something, which I really didn't want to do on here because it'd be an awkward spot here with up and down. So yeah, so that's why we didn't do that. But basically, you know, when people want to add in, just because they see it's an arcade game, it's going to have coins to operate on there, you know. But, you know, by you adding coins, now you got to understand, you know, when you're putting coin for player 1, coin for player 2, not all arcade games even had the 2 slots, you know. Now you take a look at, you know, some of these games on here that have just a single layout. They only had like 1 coin, and it was for both, and then if you wanted to pick 1 or 2 players, and that was it. So they didn't even have the two coin slots, not all of them. But the reason why you don't need that, you know, if listen, if you're gonna put coins, I recommend checking out Detroit Love on the YouTube channel, aka Carl Brooks on there. He's got some great videos on there. He's actually the one that got me to get this on and off switch one, because I used to have the button but just as a switch, regular push button, and when they did the switch on here, there had to be a mod done to the script. So hats off to him, man. If you guys ever want to see how to function this properly, how it's all done through the scripting, he has a great tutorial video on that. But he's also got a great video on if you want to put a coin door on here. You know, if you're gonna drill any type of holes or do anything, why do it to the control pad? Or even here, this thing, like, so this piece, especially this piece right here, you know, I wouldn't want to put buttons on here. I mean, you get somebody push that on here, you're gonna have buttons sticking out on here. It's just not a good spot, I don't think. Like I said, if I would do any type of coin thing, I'd put the actual coin door down there. Why not? You know, now that's being more authentic than, you know, adding buttons on here. But, you know, that's my opinion on there. Like I said, we on all my builds, I haven't done any type of mod to the control pad itself, and we try to get as much games as possible. Now, you don't need to have all these games. You know, there's always, that's why there's a favorites list, or you could just delete all the other games if you don't want to use the ones that use the button, and you just want the games that have just the joystick itself. So, you know, the options are there. But I did this. I think somebody wanted a build on here for like one of those counter arcades. I don't have one of those. I know it uses different video. Obviously, you ain't gonna be able to use the same video board on that, but I wanted to create that as well for people that want to put something like this inside one of those machines. But reason why you don't need coin buttons, a lot of the arcade games, especially through main, have dip switches where you could configure and make them as free play. You know, when it's set on free play, no coins need to be activated. It's running on free play, so it's pretty much like almost like you're playing like a console where you just press player 1 star or player 2 star, and that is it. I'm going to show you guys that. Let me see which one has free play. Now, not all of them do. I think the first one from the list, Avendar, this one should have. So let's load that up. And as always, I got all the images for all the games on here. Upgraded this. So anyone that has a button on here, you're gonna see. And the one that I use is down here. This one as your fire or jump button. You know, if the game has that. So I don't want it up here. Then you're pressing on both of these buttons. So so that's how this one is set up. Jump button here, and you're moving here. So that's why you don't need additional button. And if a game has a free play like this one does, on this player 1, we'll get you to continue. And if you press both 1 and 2 at the same time, that'll return you back to the menu. So if I were to press 2, nothing's going to happen. The only way continue is the player 1. So this is going to load up, and it should have free play activated, meaning we don't need to any coin noise. And you can see down here, free play. So right now, if I want to play this game, if I want to do 1 or 2 players, I just got to press it. So let's say I want to set it up, I don't know, 2 players. So there's 1 up and 2 up. So it's activated, no coins needed, no drilling, no nothing on here. And the way you would do that, and you find out if a game has free play option, basically hit tab on the control and go to dip switches on here, and there'll be an option where say free play if you want to set it on or off, or there'll be where it has the coin. There'll be say like 1 coin, 1 credit, 2, and then if it has free play, once you set that on, that's it, it's good to go. So this one does, and a lot of them do. Like I said, a lot of them do. That's why we're able to put these on here. But let me get out of here. Now, some of them, if they don't use a button, it's fine because you're gonna put make the player 1 start and as a start button and as a coin. Same thing with player 2. So if you were to put coins, you press this, you get coins, and you also start as one single player game. And then you could add coins with this one as well, and then play as 2 players. Now, what I didn't want to do is making this as a fire button. I didn't want to make it also as a coin button, because then let's say you're playing like Galaga, and you're pressing this like 100 times, you get like 99 credits on here every time you press it. So the way I did this is player 1 will be coin to add coins, okay, and then so there'll be no coin option on here for those games. You just add coin, and then you press player 1 to start, or player 2. Like, let's bring up, I think Burger Time didn't have free play. Load up Burger Time, start it up. And what I will do on here, let's go to dip switches. I made the coin A as 2 credits. So whenever you press the 1, it's at 2 credits. So when it has 2 credits on there, you have the option of pressing 1 player or 2 player. So that's why I did that on there. And then I deactivated coin B slot. There's no button for it, you know. So I just hit the coin button. So we got 2 credits on here. And then if I press 2 players, which I did, you'll get both of them. You know, if I were to press just the 1, let me get back out here. Let me load it up again. So if you just want to play single player, you press for the coins, you get 2 credits down here, and then you press one button, and now it'll just be 1 player. So that's that. And then if you have, ones that don't use the button, I don't know if this has free play or not. Let's say Frogger. So you need the coins. So if you want to do 1 player, you put the coins here and start. If you want 2 players, let's say 1 or 2 players. So if I hit 2, it'll start up as 2 players. So if I were to just hit the 1, it would just be 1 player. So that's why you don't need, like I said, you don't need extra buttons just because the game had coins. It's an arcade game. There's the free play option. That's number 1. There's setting up both of them as the coin and star buttons, and then there's the third option, just putting this as your coin, and then making it as 2 credits, and then picking 1 or 2. Even if you just play 1 player, like most of the games you're going to play 1 player anyway. Like I don't know, many people that play at the same time. Usually when you're done playing, somebody else don't play it. So and like I said, when you're playing a game with the buttons, like say Donkey Kong, which is the jump button, is going to be here on this one. If we go into the game, if I press that, it's not going to add in the coins on there. So you ain't got to worry about when you keep pressing the jump button, it's not going to add in like 99 coins. And then press 1 player, and there you go. We'll start it up. So no coins needed, and that's how it's done. Let me back out here. So as you guys can see, we got the menu here for all games. Now I added a filter between all and favorites if you want to narrow the list down, and this will switch the filter. Now if you don't want that button, like I said, you don't want somebody, let's say you want to set it on favorites and you don't want anybody to switch it to all games, you could remove that. Basically on the keyboard, hit tab and then go to your controls on here, and then here you could configure all that, to move up and down. And then also I know there's only 2 buttons here in joystick, but you could configure a lot if you wanted to have all the functions on the joystick, because it takes combination buttons. Like you could do both of the buttons pressed together, or you could do like right and the first button, or down and second button on there. Like let's say, let me go to the filter one. So here's the one I put button 1, which is here, as the filter. Now if you didn't want to use it, you could remove that input, and now that function will not work, only will work on the keyboard. But let's say you want to add an input, you could do either I'll do right and the button. So now it's going to be right and button 1, so that's why you could, if you do that, let me put it back. If you do that, like I said, you could do a lot of these. Like you could get your configuration. That hit tab on the keyboard, you could put it here if you wanted to. Add your favorites too. You could set it up, maybe pressing both of the buttons together. So you're able to still configure all that, even with just limited buttons here, because it will let you do that. So, and with the favorites, like I did in the other video, you basically go to displays and you gotta scroll all the way down here to favorites, and then here's your all games and favorites. If you want to add in another filter, you could, whether you want to search by category, or whether it's a button game or not on there, you could add those filters on here. I really go into detail in the Centipede tab if you guys really want to check that out. Right now I have it on the keyboard for the letter F will add a favorite. You want to add a favorite to the list or remove a favorite on there. In case your controls are not working, let's say if you're using a different type of joystick or buttons, you can still get to the emulation screen, or if you don't want to use this type of layout, you press the escape on your keyboard. This will exit out of the attract mode. So in case you need to go back to emulation, we prompted the command line here and just type out emulation station. Alright, so emulation station, enter, and then that'll get you to the standard emulation. Let's say if you want to use it this, or if you needed to configure, let's say like your configure your input on here in case, or if you needed to make any type of changes to like RetroArch or your Wi-Fi on here, you know, if you're adding any additional games and stuff, you can still get to the emulation screen. If you prefer to use this layout as opposed to the attract mode, because right now anytime you boot it up it's going to go directly to the attract mode, you simply go to RetroPie setup on here. Alright, once you're in there, scroll down to configuration tools, which is the fourth one down, and then go here to auto start emulation station encoding. Click that one, and then you want to do here manual edit the auto start. You can also do this in the file manager, but we're gonna basically modify the auto start. And right now, as you can see, it has attract as auto. So you would basically change that to emulation station, you know, and then click OK. But I'm not gonna do that. So that, you know, if you're looking to basically, you know, switch it so it boots up to the emulation on here as opposed to that. So you still have this option here. Like I said, there's 39 games in total. And then let me go back to track mode. So F4, and then same way on here. If you want to get to a track mode, just type in attract, hit enter, and that'll get you back here. So like I said, navigation works, everything should be fine. All the buttons, that's your additional button if a game does require a button. The other ones is simply this. Any questions, let me know in the comments. It's probably my last time revising this PacMan. Like I said, if you don't want the additional games, you could always delete them. Let's say you don't want Popeye here, hit the space bar. This will get you into the edit screen. And this is where you could add in categories and stuff if you wanted to add another type of filter on there besides favorites and stuff. Or you could scroll the way down here and delete this game if you don't want it on here. So you want to narrow that down or keep it as your favorites list only. That's your option. You want to remove this so nobody could function that, only through the keyboard. Like I said, that's your options. But yeah, that's the PacMan build. You know, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about it. And yeah, that's the build. Later, fellas.